The story of Don Giovanni is quite applicable to the playboys of today, and without prejudice, this lifestyle finds a way of catching up. We'd like to welcome back the Charleston Opera Theater on this week's Spotlight Music series. We're joined by its executive director, Harold Meers, and Craig Verm, who is playing the title character. It's great to have you gentlemen.
Thanks for having us today.
So how's it been going with the Charleston Opera Theater?
Great, we're really excited. Rehearsals have been going great. They've been in full swing now for a little over a week, and I've been really impressed with what I've seen. We're very excited. I think we're going to have a really great show for everybody in Charleston.
All right, tell us all about Don Giovanni. What is the story about exactly?
So I should probably let Craig talk a little bit more about it. He knows a little bit more intimately than I do.
You are Don Giovanni.
I am playing the role of Don Giovanni. He is a depraved sociopath, and a tale as old as time, unfortunately. But evil does not prevail. Spoiler alert, he does get his upcoming to the end and gets dragged down into hell. Mm-hmm. But the show opens with him assaulting a woman and then murdering her father. Whew. And he's got this hole in his heart that he is trying to fill with drugs and women and alcohol, and he just keeps going further and further and further, trying to fulfill. Yeah. And he can't.
When I said that we all know a Don Giovanni, I didn't mean the murderer.
Right.
The sociopath, the playboy.
Yes. But that's how the show starts, is with a murder, and we kind of decided he hasn't murdered somebody before. This is a new experience for him, and so he's fascinated by the killing. I mean, it's creepy.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I don't think I'm typecast.
No. What's funny about it is Craig is an epically nice guy.
So yeah.
Yeah, he's like an epically nice guy. So yeah, it's just kind of funny to see you.
Snorting coke. Yeah. So we've updated it with cocaine and
as opposed to maybe opium or something like that.
Right. Yeah, we've got it set in Mexico during Dia de los Muertos. So we've got the skulls and skeletons and ofrendas with the grave.
So that explains the billboards,
right?
Which is beautiful. I think that's a wonderful way of characterizing it.
It's great.
Well, we were looking for a way. You know, it's very common to update. For modern audiences, something that was written in the mid 18th century, and rather than doing period costuming, we tried to find some way of updating it, and I had the idea. I had an inspiration moment one time, like Day of the Dead would make a great parallel with the story, not only because of the imagery of it, but because of the storyline itself and the significance and the traditions of Dia de los Muertos. Yeah. There was a lot of parallels there, and it really made for a nice pairing, and it's going to be a spectacle to see and to hear. So.
Yeah, a match made in heaven or hell, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
And the story itself, though, Harold, why did you want to stage this particular opera?
Don Giovanni is, it's my favorite Mozart piece. There is that element of, like you said, there's this character of Don, the old Don Juan character. It seems like we all know people that have been that way, and he really is a sociopath. But there's also something insanely human about this story. It's the most dramatic of Mozart's operas, but it also has its moments of levity. So it has a nice balance of the two. It's going to be very funny. I saw some rehearsal the other day, and it's very funny. We've got a great cast, but it's a very dramatic piece, and I think it's one that modern audiences can embrace.
Yes.
Which was important to me. Yeah, I mean, this is our first big inaugural performance, so we wanted to do something that was important and significant.
That's wonderful. Well, whether it's opera or ballet, I think when the audience can relate to it, sometimes biting off the very old traditional look of these stage productions, maybe a little bit overwhelming. So it's kind of nice to see yourself up on stage.
You got to break those stereotypes.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
We are opera singers, and we are so involved in the acting and the drama.
Yes.
And we're not larger than life in old dusty costumes and sets, singing in a language you can't understand. We're going to have
larger than life, yes,
but
with a modern twist.
Not the physiques per se.
And
the stairs, and we've got the translation.
Yeah, so it's sung in Italian, but we have the super titles. Everybody's used to super titles now. So.
I know that is true. Well, audiences are in for a treat. Mozart's Don Giovanni is going to be taking place at the Sottile Theater Thursday, October 20th, and Saturday, October 22nd at 8 p.m. And you are going to be singing for us after the break. What is the piece?
It is De Vieni alla finestra. It's canzonetta is singing, trying to bring down a love from her balcony.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I can't wait. We're back after this.